Jack! Buddy! Hey!
Oh, it looks like it's going well. I can't hear the screams from here, so that's a plus.
We are at the beach today because it is probably the nicest day we've had all year long. Like, it is gorgeous today. We're currently teaching Jack how to like the water, and we made some progress. He liked it for a little bit. It's a lot warmer now, and he just hates cold water, but he's getting used to it. This is the best he's done in the water so far. Like, every time before this, we'd just touch his toes to it and he'd scream. Yeah. So this is epic. We've got him like caked in sunscreen. So hopefully it does its job right, but it is like layers and layers of sunscreen on him. Yeah! He screamed so loud right when we brought him into the water, but I think he just needed...
That's how I feel on the inside when I get into water. It's not that cold, I'm just a baby.
But seriously, look at this day. Out, and now we are just relaxing. He peed on Sarah twice too because he's not wearing a diaper, and so he just peed all over.
Why are you not wearing a diaper?
Well, I thought he'd feel better if he wasn't wearing a diaper, that he could be free at the beach, you know?
I said just put on a diaper because I don't want to get peed on while I'm holding it.
Oh yeah, and then I was like, nah, and then he peed right away. Sorry. Sarah looked at the crabs and went, those crabs don't have to deal with screaming babies. Their babies just get born and leave them. Crabs have it easy, man. Wish I was a crab.
That's pee.
That's number 3.
I'm so glad Derik didn't want to put a diaper on him.
I'm sorry.
Can we put a diaper?
Yes.
No.
Yes, we'll put a diaper on him.
I've been peed on 3 times.
So we're back. We're in Jack's room now. You're just playing on the ground.
With a million toys, but he picks the phone cord out of all the don't buy your kids toys.
Not worth
I keep
it.
saying that. They don't want toys. They just want
Your stuff.
random things. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about something that we haven't ever really talked about before, and it's going to kind of lead into our next video. If you've been following us for a long time, you've heard maybe that at one point in Derik's life he had a major accident when he was younger, and that has kind of affected the rest of his life. Anyway, so we're going to go into the details about that whole accident, what happened, everything in our next video. But in this video, we want to talk about how it's impacted like our marriage, like our first year of marriage, and then dating in general, when we got married young, how that affected like what we thought and what people around us thought, like our family and friends. Yeah, we're just gonna be open with you guys about what happened about that, because it's pretty crazy.
People have asked us quite a bit, like, Jack wanted to let you know that he's here. I feel like people have asked Sarah a lot, like on Instagram, what was it like getting married so young? Was it easy for you guys? And for the most part, we kind of just brushed it off like, yeah, it was really easy.
Yeah, oh, we love it, like get married young.
Which
for us, we wouldn't have done it different.
No.
But it wasn't just a breeze, like
it was
we made
a lot
it sound
harder than, yeah, we made it seem. So just a brief context, when I was 14, I had a major accident, fell off a cliff. I'm gonna talk about all of that in the next video. We've never really openly shared it with people other than family and friends. Getting married young was something I did not foresee in my future. Like, I genuinely thought I was gonna get married when I was at least 30 years old.
Derik hated girls, apparently. That's all I hear from people that
I like to pretend I hated girls, but I wasn't good with girls. I wasn't super interested in high school.
Derik was a ghoster.
I didn't want to do it to be mean. I just was really awkward and shy when it came to girls. I come back from a mission serving for my church due to after effects of that accident that I had. Some things happened with my brain and just a lot of things that I'll go more into in the next video. I'm back, I'm like, okay, I really just want to get healed. I want to go back out if I can. I just want to be healthy. Girls are going to be put to the side. I don't want to go on any dates right now. I just want to be healthy and like take care of myself. But in our story, if you guys haven't seen that, we talk about like how I was in a pretty dark place, just trying to figure out like why I was going through everything that I was, and how Sarah actually pulled me out of that. Probably the biggest reason why I wanted to date her, and then why marriage seemed so easy, was because it was the only thing working in my life that made me feel like a normal human, like I could like have fun. I laughed, I was interested, I felt the butterflies. I was like, this is what life is supposed to be about. Like, I'm attracted to her, I want to be with her. And I was like, yeah. It made me just way more open to getting married. So yeah, it was like 2 months after dating when we decided, hey, let's get married. Sarah brought it up out of nowhere. And so at first we're like, heck yeah, let's make this happen. Let's get married.
And it's just like all like fluffy and rainbows. Then like we started thinking about like real life, reality. Like I had some tough conversations with my parents and how you're so young and supporting a family. And
I think at first it was like, okay, you guys are really young. Like, how are you gonna make this work? You're
Neither
19, I was 20.
We both had like nothing really figured out. Like Derik hadn't even started school or anything.
As we like were talking about marriage, it had been about 3-4 months before I proposed. And it kind of came down to like, okay, yeah, you could probably pull it off young, but Derik kind of has some potential future problems.
My parents were like, okay, like he's the most amazing guy in the world, but later down the road, like you have to know, like, is there gonna be this? Is there gonna be that? And
yeah, it turned into a lot of weird conversations.
And we still don't know. I mean, we're in our 20s, yeah. So like down the road, we don't know what's gonna happen. But it was kind of just like, well, why would I base my life decision on something that I don't know? Like, why would I be scared of the future when I don't want to live life like that? You know, I want to do what feels right to me. And I think that's like what it came down to when I was having those conversations. I did have like a very heavy conversation with my parents about it. Just, my parents loved Derik and thought he was the most amazing guy in the world. It was more just, they worry about the future, if I'm gonna be taken care of and all of that. I remember going over to Derik's house after that and having a conversation with him about, I was just like so sick about talking about it, and I know we had been talking about the wedding constantly, and I was just like, maybe
so exciting.
It was so exciting, but I thought maybe we'll just like put it on the back burner for a little bit, just like give our parents some time to like be chill with it. Because I just remember Derik's parents were really stressed about how young we were, and my parents were just stressed about like also how young we were, but also the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And
so I just didn't really want to like bring it up around the families, and I think that kind of hurt Derik's feelings a little bit. But
I think it was mostly just like this life-changing thing that was happening, and I was so excited. We were talking about like getting married, and I couldn't see anyone else in my life, and I was like so in love with Sarah. Don't mind the crackling Bach. Jack's playing with his Bach. The hardest part for me was like just talking about this so much and having this light at the end of the tunnel type thing, and then for her to do what was probably right in the moment, but me just thinking it wasn't. But to say like, look, let's just not talk about this anymore because our parents are kind of freaking out. It's starting to kind of freak me out a little bit. I mean, how is she not going to? Like, she obviously trusts her parents. These are scary things. She didn't really know anything about this. Like, it's still something we're learning together every day. I can see like where she was coming from, but it was like, for me, just so hard to take in. Like, wait, so maybe we're not.
Yeah, I think I was like kind of pulling back on the reins, and Derik was like, no.
It was just like, oh no.
He took it as like, I didn't want to get married, and it was more just like...
It just kind of went from like super good conversations about it to like, this is seeming like actual real and scary now. Like we're young and you've got stuff going on. Do I really want to like jump in?
I never like I never thought that I didn't want to do it. Like I never thought that. I just was thinking, and I just wanted to give everybody like a little time to like adjust and like get used to it, because it was just so like, we dated and then it was like we were engaged and it was just so quick, you know?
Yeah. So obviously we ended up getting married.
And it was the best day ever. Both parents were thrilled.
She definitely took the bigger leap of faith, for sure.
I feel like it was scary for you.
But it was super scary for me as
Derik
well.
didn't
like,
ever think he was getting married.
Marriage is huge. We decided like, hey, we actually want to do this. We're both going to take a leap of faith. We're going to learn.
We have a different situation because like within our church, it's like you don't live with anybody and you don't have sex before marriage.
Yeah,
like,
gotta like understand the context.
So like the context for us is like, yeah, we've dated, we love each other, like
we hang out every day.
We hang out every day, all day, but like there's such a difference between like dating, being engaged, spending tons of time, and then like actually living in the same space as someone. Yeah. So like for us, that was like a huge adjustment when we first started. The first year was honestly like, we were not in that honeymoon phase. Like it was really, really hard for us to adjust. We were still dealing with some of Derik's stuff.
I was gone a ton with school, and
like from 5 in the morning till 10 at night.
I had a lot of things going on, but even if they weren't, it was hard to not use it as a crutch. In every conversation, if it like started to go bad, it was like, hey, like I have this problem, so I can't like act normal in this situation, or that's why I'm doing this because of this thing. And I would like use that as a crutch a lot. All these things that didn't really happen when we were dating started to come out, like me just blaming everything on this accident. Some things real, some things maybe me just wanting to like justify it or whatever. So a lot of adjusting.
And like Derik was on like some medications that like were
not
good for him, and so like medication is a great thing if you have the right one that works for you, but you have to find the right one that works for you, and he was just taking the one that he'd been taking, and it like made him like a zombie. I feel like I was just in a place where I was kind of lonely. I was a photographer, I was doing weddings, and I was also teaching tennis, but I was like at the house by myself like 80% of the day until I left for work, and then like we missed each other, and then I'd get back at like 10, and I feel like our connection kind of just like
dwindled. It
was just hard. We didn't have, I'm sure everyone goes through that in marriage, but everyone talks about like the honeymoon first year, and I'm like, that was a year that we like grinded to figure each other out and like went through like this,
which looking back on it now like makes sense, given like the situation with everything. Like we actually had to like
learn how to live.
That's where the leap of faith like came in with on her end and stuff. But when it was happening in the moment, I was like, no, this is going to be the most epic thing ever.
Honestly,
that's what it's turned into.
We started from ground zero. Yeah. And then like we've progressively gotten like stronger as a couple and better, and like understand each other more like the longer we've been married. Which to me, that's a great thing. I'd much rather
be that way.
I'd much rather be like this than like a you know. Like a pro to getting married young was that we were learning together. Like with like growing together as a couple. We just have made like major life decisions together, like where we're gonna live, what's our career path gonna be, like how are we gonna support our family, and like we've kind of done that like all together instead of like establishing. I know it's great either way, but it was cool that we got to figure that all out together instead of having both our careers like established and then like
we knew what we were gonna do,
being older. Like we've really grown together. People are pretty like taboo about talking like about issues like in marriages, and obviously people want to keep their lives like private, but I feel like it's okay to say that at some points like your marriage has been hard, and because you can always make it better or work on it, but it's okay. I feel like people are scared to be like, oh no, my marriage is my marriage is perfect, we've always got along. I feel like that's,
especially in the social media world, it's easy to think like man, these guys have it figured out. Like,
yeah. And we get that all the time. Do you guys ever fight? Like, are you perfect? And I'm like, who is perfect and what marriage do you not fight? Like, I mean, maybe they're out there, but honestly, I like don't know anybody that doesn't get into an argument. You live with the person.
I think the thing that we've been able to like really start to nail down is like arguments are kind of inevitable, but like
how do we handle them?
And how do we like move on? And we've gotten a lot better at that, and so it's made it a lot easier. Getting married at 19 and 20 was the best decision I think we could have made, but it was hard. Like, it didn't come without a lot of challenges.
We don't know what the future is going to be like either, and I'm sure we're going to have plenty of these moments, but
there's a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
And next video we're going to talk about all the details about Derik falling off a cliff, literal 35-foot cliff.
It was so life-changing. I'll open up and talk about that. Again, I've never really done that with random people, or it's usually just been with close friends and family. So I'm excited to like share that story and just like kind of like accept it as a big part of my life instead of just trying to like forget about it. I think it'll be good. Anyways,
so
that's what happened.
The scoop.
It's been epic. We're so happy that we're together, and
we got Jack now.
We got Jack, and life is awesome. Way better with a baby.
Say hi to the people.
We are really grateful for you guys. You guys make us feel so awesome.
Yeah,
with the comments,
we love you guys.
The support. It like makes YouTube so much more fun.
You want the camera?
We get comments like, your guys' love story or the things you're talking about has seriously impacted our relationship and our life, and we're like, that's literally the best thing we could ever hear.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss Derik's awesome story and our other videos. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you next time. You ready? Woo.